My name is Chloe. I am hiding behind a rock in the cold desert night. Mark and Ben are with me. We barely breathe. We are being watched. Eyes in the darkness, just beyond the moonlight. They move like ghosts, silent and unseen. We came for adventure, for fun. Now we're just trying to survive. We should have listened. Now we're paying the price. It started with a map of West Texas. Winding trails, steep canyons, the promise of adventure. I planned the trip. Mark drove, Ben fixed our bikes, Sarah was the free spirit. We packed up, excited and fearless. The drive was beautiful. Endless blue sky, red rock formations, wind in our hair. We felt invincible. 4 friends on the greatest adventure of our lives. The world was ours. We had no idea what the desert was hiding. We were heading straight for its secret.
We pulled off the endless highway, dust swirling around our tires, and stopped for gas at a lonely, rundown station that looked like it hadn't seen a crowd in decades. The sun beat down on the cracked pavement, and the only sign of life was an old man, Elmer, who watched us from his porch, his eyes sharp beneath the brim of a battered hat. He seemed to be waiting for something, or maybe for someone to listen.
"Where are you kids headed?" he called out, his voice rough like gravel, but not unkind. There was a weight to his words, as if he'd asked this question 100 times before and never liked the answer.
"Silo. We're biking the trails," we told him, trying to sound braver than we felt. The name hung in the air, and for a moment, the wind seemed to die down.
"Silo's poison," he said, his voice dropping low. "Been empty 50 years. Dust devils live there now. They don't like visitors, and they sure don't let anyone leave the same as they came." His words sent a chill through the heat.
We laughed it off, trading nervous glances. Just a ghost story, we thought, something to scare tourists. We joked about haunted silos and desert spirits, trying to shake off the unease.
"They'll leave you with nothing but your bones," Elmer warned, his gaze never leaving us. "The desert doesn't give back what it takes."
We paid for gas, still joking about dust devils, and loaded up our bikes. The old man's words echoed in my mind, but we shrugged them off, eager to get back on the road.
As we pulled away, I glanced back, feeling a strange sense of unease settle in my chest. Elmer watched us go, a silent warning in his eyes. He didn't wave, didn't smile, just stared, as if he already knew what was coming. We ignored him, too sure of ourselves to believe in old stories. We were so sure of ourselves, convinced nothing could touch us out here. The desert was just another adventure, and we were invincible. His warning was a gift, a chance to turn back. But we threw it away, laughing as we sped off, not realizing how quickly things can change in the desert. We drove straight toward the darkness, the sky ahead swirling with dust and secrets, never imagining that Elmer's words would haunt us long after the sun went down. We reached Silo at sunset, a skeleton town, broken and silent. Mark suggested camping in an abandoned garage. It felt safe enough. We set up camp, cooked dinner, tried to laugh. But the silence was heavy, unnatural. Shadows danced on the walls. I felt watched. I told myself it was just nerves, the old man's story in my head. But deep down, fear was growing. We were not alone. The desert night pressed in. We tried to sleep. The adventure was over. The nightmare had begun. I woke in the night to a scraping sound near the truck. Whispers, dry, guttural, not English. Bare feet padded around us. I froze, listening, heart pounding. Then silence. They were gone. At dawn, Mark found our water jugs empty. Caps screwed back on, but every drop gone. Someone had come while we slept. Kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more horror stories. Elmer's words echoed. They take what they want. The dust devils were real. Fear replaced excitement. We were trapped, no water, in the desert. The sun rose, merciless. We realized this was no ghost story. We were being hunted. We searched Silo for water. Nothing. The sun was brutal. We rationed the last sips, waiting for night to escape. When darkness fell, we packed up, desperate to leave. Ben tried the truck. Dead. Battery cables cut. Panic set in. Then rocks slammed the garage roof. Bang, clang, over and over. We huddled together, terrified. The assault stopped. Silence. Ben checked the truck. Food gone, tires slashed. The dust devils had taken everything. They wanted us afraid. We were stranded, hungry, and alone. The desert was closing in. We realized they were playing with us. We were their prey. At dawn, we tried to escape on our bikes, the world around us eerily silent except for the crunch of gravel beneath our tires. The town felt abandoned, as if everyone had vanished overnight, leaving only the echo of our laughter and the hope that we could outrun whatever haunted these empty streets. That's when they attacked. Silent, fast, faces hidden in rags. They seemed to appear out of nowhere, shadows moving between the ruined buildings, their intentions clear and terrifying. We barely had time to react before chaos erupted around us. We panicked, dropped the bikes, and ran. Our hearts pounded in our chests as we sprinted down the empty street, desperate to escape. The fear was overwhelming, and all we could think about was getting away, no matter what. Sarah was grabbed, dragged into the shadows. We couldn't save her. Her scream echoed in the still morning air, and for a moment, time seemed to freeze. The guilt and helplessness hit us instantly, but there was nothing we could do. We ran until Silo vanished behind us, the only landmark we knew swallowed by the endless desert. Every step took us further from safety, but stopping wasn't an option. We didn't dare look back. Lost in the desert, no water, no map, no hope. The sun climbed higher, burning our skin and drying our throats. Each hour felt like a lifetime, and the emptiness around us grew heavier with every passing minute. We argued, blamed each other, fear and thirst driving us mad. The stress and exhaustion made us lash out, our friendships fraying under the weight of survival. Every decision felt impossible, every step a struggle. Ben remembered a survival trick, shadow stick for direction. It was a small spark of hope, a reminder that we still had a chance if we kept our wits about us. We watched the shadow move, desperate for any sign of the right path. We found east and west, aimed south, hoping for the road. The landscape stretched endlessly before us, but we clung to the idea that somewhere, just beyond the horizon, there might be help, or at least shelter. It was a sliver of hope. The sun was relentless. We kept moving, step after painful step, refusing to give in to despair. Survival was all we had left, and we weren't ready to let go, not yet. We stumbled south, lips cracked, throats burning. The sun was relentless, beating down on us with a fury that made every step feel impossible. Our shoes filled with sand, our skins stung with sweat and dust. Each mile felt like a lifetime, and the silence of the desert pressed in, broken only by the sound of our ragged breathing and the crunch of our feet on the parched earth. We were lost, but hope kept us moving, even as exhaustion threatened to swallow us whole. Suddenly an engine roared in the distance, a rusty old truck, its paint faded and battered by years of desert wind. Behind the wheel were the dust devils, their faces hidden in shadow, eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of us. The sound of that engine sent a jolt of fear through our bodies, and we knew we had to hide. We ran, hearts pounding, and dove behind jagged rocks, pressing ourselves into the earth as the truck crept closer. Every second felt like an eternity as we waited, barely daring to breathe, hoping the dust devils would pass us by. Then, just as hope was fading, a glint caught my eye. The sun reflecting off a distant windshield. It was the road, shimmering like a promise on the horizon, a lifeline stretching out of the wasteland. We waited until the truck disappeared, then gathered our strength and sprinted for the highway, legs trembling but hearts filled with desperate hope. The road meant rescue, and we clung to that thought as we ran. A minivan slowed to a stop beside us, dust swirling around its tires. A family leaned out, concern etched on their faces. They handed us water, cool, life-saving water, and called the police. In that moment, we knew we were finally safe. We told them everything, about Silo, the dust devils, and Sarah. Our voices shook as we recounted the nightmare we'd survived, the family listening in disbelief and horror. The police arrived quickly, their radios crackling as they searched the ruins. They found the abandoned town, our wrecked truck, and the scattered remains of our bikes, evidence of the chaos we'd fled. But there were no people left, no sign of the dust devils, no trace of Sarah. The town was empty, silent, as if it had never been alive at all. Sometimes I wonder if Elmer was right. Maybe the dust devils aren't people at all, but ghosts, haunting the ruins of a forgotten place. forever searching for something they lost. But I know what I saw. I know what we survived. The memory of their faces, the terror in their eyes, will never leave me. If you ever find yourself driving through West Texas and see a dead town on the horizon, don't stop. Keep driving, no matter how curious you are. Some places are better left alone, because some monsters look just like us. And sometimes, the scariest things you'll ever meet are the ones that wear a human face.